anyị mapụkwacha na nzu n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke nzu eke ka anyị mapụrụ wee na-asị na anyị ọchị ka anyị na-achọ ka anyị wapụ n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke wee na-asịkwa Chukwu okike abịa ma okike kele ụwa gbasịbe n'igwe nwanne otu onye na ya jikwa n'aka abụọ ji nke nwoge kọrọ ọjị a wee sị anyị were akwụkwọ egwu na-agabịa na mmezu wee na-asịkwa anyanwụ ụtụtụ nke na-awara Igbo nke na-awara ọjị nke na-awara Igbo nke na-awara olu wakele anyị na-eke wakele anyị n'oge wakele anyị n'afọ wakele anyị na nkwụ dị na ọnọdụ dancing song we love and challenge enu were ọjị ana were ọjị mbụ were ọjị agide were ọjị ndị ichie na ndị ọzọ na ndị kwuru eziokwu ka nka ndị nụrụ ọgụ Biafra 1967-1970 our fathers, our mothers, our brothers, our sisters, our cousins, our nephews, our friends. Ndị nụrụ ọgụ Biafra 1967 so unu bịa were ọjị ya n'ogbe ka anyị weta ya n'ibe ka unu bịa were ọjị n'ogbe taa ka anyị wetakwa n'ibe ka unu gbabara ya osiarị na be ndị mmụọ ka gbabara na osiarị na be ndị mmadụ ndị na Chukwu ngị na gị na ihe na-ejere na ozi were sị enu were ọjị ana were ọjị mbụ na egede ndị ichie na ndị ọzọ ka unu were ọjị ya kwukwere na nzu ka anyị na-ekwu n'ọjị n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ ekekere ya na-ekwu okwu ya bụ ndụ anyị na-eke ndụ anyị n'orie ndụ anyị na afọ ndụ anyị na nkwọ ekeketara anyị ọma ka ododo tara anyị ọma ka afụfụ tara anyị ọma ka nkwọ kwụtara anyị ọma ahịa na izu na nọ nke ndị Igbo ji eme ihe na ndị Igbo Chukwu okike abịa ma nga onwe gị mara ya were sị na ya na-ekwu na eke ka anyị na-ekwu n'orie ya na-ekwu n'ode ka anyị na-ekwu n'afọ ya na-ekwu n'afọ ka anyị na-ekwu na nkwọ ka anyị na-ekwu na nkwọ ka anyị na-ekwu n'ụtụtụ ka anyị na-ekwu n'ụtụtụ ka anyị na-ekwu n'ehihie ka anyị na-ekwukwo n'ehihie ka anyị na-ekwu n'anyasị bụ ya anyị na-ekwu gwa bụ Biafra ka anyị na-ekwu na eke ka Biafra ka anyị na-ekwu n'owe na-asị Chukwu okike abịa ma dododo onye ndu anyị bụ Maazị Nnamdi Kanu dubia na eke dubia na ode dubia na afọ dubia na nkwọ dubia na ụtụtụ dubia na ehihie dubia na anyasị dubia na mazi adịghị n'aka ihe oriri ya ṅụ dịghị n'aka bụrụ ụzọ ma bịara ya azụ kpuchite aka ọkụkọ si ekpuchite ụmụ ya alapụkwara na ọdịrị arapụrụ bịa n'oruru ahịhịa n'ụbọchị nkata otu esi kwa ka oge si wadị n'aha Great Chukwu okike abịa ma onye anyị na-akpụ isi ala enye mgbe niile aha na-asị dododo ụmụnne m ụmụ Biafra ekeketara na ihe ọma ka o wee rutere na ihe ọma ka afọ wefọtara na ihe ọma ka ndụ anyị na-eke ndụ anyị n'orie ndụ anyị na afọ ndụ anyị na nkwọ n'aha anyị wee na-akpọku Chukwu okike abịa ma okike kele ụwa gbasịrị n'igwe nwanne otu onye aṅụrụ ndụ kwere kwa mee ya ụgwọ narị atụ egwu agbakwuru zuru ike onye ike niile dị n'ọba nka ya Adonai Ancient of Days Elohim of our forefathers, Elohim of our ancestors, El Shaddai, Hashem, Most High God, Chukwu okike abịama. We committed our leader n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke anyị na-asị n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke n'isi onye ndu anyị bụ Maazị Nnamdi Okwu Kanu, the Yeshua of our time, the Irokotri of our time, Ọhamadike one ọnụ na-ekwuru Igbo niile ọnụ na-ekwuru Biafra niile wee na-asị n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke na naba anyị ndụ ya na-eke ndụ ya n'orie ndụ ya n'afọ ndụ ya na nkwọ ndụ ya n'ụtụtụ ndụ ya n'ehihie ndụ ya n'anyasị ngị na Chukwu ngị na ana ngị na ihe na-ejere ala ozi ngị na ihe ana na-ejere ozi wee na-asịkwa Chukwu abịa ma dododo nakwa nwanne anyị nwoke bụkwa our prime minister Biafra government in exile autopilot Maazị Simon Ekpa wee na-asị Chukwu okike abịa ma n'ụbọchị taa bụkwuru ụbọchị bụrụ eke na n'Igbo niile mmụọ eke ngị bụ ihe ihe ọmasị na ihe ga-eri aka mmụọ orie ngị bụ mmiri ndụ mmiri ndụ azụ ndụ agha bụ ndụ mmiri iji agha bụ ije mmiri mmụọ afọ ngị bụ ana ya echekọta ya na eke chekọta ya n'orie chekọta ya na afọ chekọta ya na nkwọ mmụọ nkwọ ngị bụ ikuku na ihe ọmasị na ikuku ga-eri aka na ndụ ya ga-adị na eke na ndụ ya ga-adị n'orie na ndụ ya ga-adị n'afọ na ndụ ya ga-adị na nkwọ eje anaghị abụrụ isi ije wee na-asịkwa Chukwu okike abịa ma okike kele ụwa na ọ ga-adị ka echi na echi adị agwụ agwụ n'osisi pụtara ife dị gbogbo na ojiri egbu aha Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ojiri egbu Maazị Nnamdi Kanu ojiri egbu Simon Ekpa ga-egbu onwe ya ọ ga-etinye isi ya ngị na Chukwu ngị na ana ngị na ihe na-ejere na ozi ngị na-agwụ nsị ọha mehie ngị na ndị mbụ ndị egede ndị ichie ndị ọzọ ndị kwuru eziokwu ka nka Chukwu debere ọkọrọ afọ ọkọrọ nkwọ ha ụwa ma ha nwa eze ọnọ n'ihu ndị nkọ ha duru mgboke duru zom iwu duru obi nwụba anụ ụmụ dura n'isi eke otu a si kwu ya ka o ga-esi anụ ọkịja niile otu a si kwu ya ka o ga-esi wede n'aha Great Chukwu okike abịa ma onye anyị na-akpụ isi ala enye mgbe niile a na-agwọ ọ na-ere nke mere jụọ oyi eme ọzọ isi emeghị ọṅụra anụ n'ebe ya wee na-asịkwa Chukwu okike abịa ma n'isi ụmụ IPOB indigenous people of Biafra the genuine ones indeed working as seriously to make sure that Biafra is restored in Biafra land. Eze Chukwu okike abịa ma also the principal officers of Biafra government in exile autopilot keke ketara na ihe ọma ka o rerotara na ihe ọma ka fụfụtara na ihe ọma ka kwụkwọtara na ihe ọma ndụ anyị na-eke ndụ anyị n'orie ndụ anyị na-afọ ndụ anyị na nkwọ gị na chukwu gị na ana gị na-enye na-ejere na ozi gị na-enye na-ejere ụra asọ okike ozi chukwu okike abịa ma okike gara ụwa gbasị dị n'igbe when I say the angel chukwu okike abịa ma also guide us and protect us till Biafra is restored in Biafra land. Anywhere we are going chukwu okike abịa ma n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke mmụọ eke ndị ibi ihe ihe masịrị ihe bịa ga-eru anyị aka mmụọ orie gị bụ mmiri ihe masị na mmiri ga-eru anyị aka mmụọ afọ gị bụ ana ihe masị na ana ga-eru anyị aka mmụọ nkwọ gị bụ ikuku na ihe masị na ikuku ga-eru anyị aka n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke gị na chukwu gị na ana gị na ihe na-ejere na ozi gị na ihe ana na-ejere ozi gị na-agwụ nsị ọha mee onye ọbụla mama aka nzu na aka nzu dị mma na we are whiter than snow na nzu enwe ntụpụ na Igbo na nzu bụ omenala Igbo niile na nzu bụ izizi a na-enye mmadụ na mmadụ bịa ebe mmadụ na ihe anyị na-ekwu okwu n'ụbọchị nke taa chukwu okike abịa ma na-ekwu ihe anyị na-ekwu okwu bụ Biafra ka anyị na-ekwu okwu bụ nwoke ọ bụ nwaanyị ọ bụ ndị onye ọbụla wherever they are planning evil against the total restoration of the kingdom of chukwu okike abịa ma na House of Government House of Assembly, House of Senate, House of Rep, local government chairman, councilorship, community leaders, whatever they are planning evil against the children of the Most High, against Biafra restoration, against our leader, also against the Prime Minister of Biafra government in Israel, our brother Mazi Simon Ekpa. When I say the chukwu okike abịa ma okwu ọjọọ dị nke egwu gọvanọ ahụ wekwa n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke n'oge jiri aha ozo kpasa ụkpasa na eke ozu akpọsa ụkpasa na orie ụkpasa ụkpasa na afọ ụkpasa ụkpasa na nkwọ n'ụbọchị ndụ ha niile oge chiri aha azụ ihe niile bụ ihe ụjọ ọjọọ kwuru n'isi anyị ọ bụ izinu na nke a gbara n'isi anyị when I say the chukwu okike abịa ma any evil plans of enemy in our land, in our Biafra restoration, wherever they are in planning against the total restoration of the kingdom of chukwu okike abịa ma in this planet earth, in House of Government House, House of Representatives, House of Assembly, House of Senate, House of Rep, local government chairman, councilorship, community leaders, traditional leaders, wherever they are in their planet earth, in the four corners of this planet earth, in their marine kingdom, in their Owonu kingdom, in their Ekaka kingdom, planning evil against the total restoration of the kingdom of chukwu okike abịa ma let their evil plan turn against their in eke ngina chukwu ngina in orie ngina chukwu ngina in afọ ngina chukwu ngina n'ụtụtụ the evil plans of enemy will go back to them in the mighty name of chukwu okike abịa ma a na-agwọ ọ na-ele okike abịa ma n'aha chukwu okike abịa ma when I say n'ụbọchị nke taa ka anyị na-ekwukwu okwu ya the land of the rising sun ga-enwe love and challenge anyanwụ ụtụtụ ka anyị na-akpọlite the land of the rising sun will love and challenge the land of the rising sun will love and challenge ha eke chukwu okike abịa ma anyanwụ ụtụtụ nke na-awara Igbo nke na-awara ọrụ wakele anyị na-eke wakele anyị n'oge wakele anyị n'afọ wakele anyị na nkwọ wakele anyị n'ụtụtụ wakele anyị na-ehihie wakele anyị n'anyasụ anyị ga-abụ ka ihe na anyị na-ekwu okwu ebe na anyị ga-adị ka Chineke adị agwa gwụ osisi pụtara ife adị ekpe ụgbọdọ anyị apụtaghị ife na ya apụtago na anyị echighakwa azụ nakwa ya na-ekwu okwu abụ Biafra ekeketara anyị Biafra ka o rerotara anyị Biafra ka afụfụtara anyị Biafra ka nkwụkwọtara anyị Biafra nga na chukwu nga na ana anyị sị na Biafra aka abịa na onye ga-atụ isi ya na eke onwe isi na eke tụ isi ya na orie onwe isi na orie tụ isi ya na afọ onwe isi na afọ tụ isi ya na nkwọ onwe isi na nkwọ onye asị chukwu okike abịa ma okike ekele ụwa gbasị bi n'igwe nwanne otu onye aṅụlụ ndụ kwere nkwa mee ya ụgwọ narị atụ egwu agbakwuru ezu n'ike onye asị nekwa nwanne anyị nwoke a bụ Biafra United Channel Television n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke dubia na eke dubia na orie dubia na afọ dubia na nkwọ dubia na ụtụtụ dubia na ehihie dubia na anyasị ọpụpịa na mbatị ya dị gị n'aka ihe oriri ya ahụ dị gị n'aka chukwu okike abịa ma buru ụzọ ma bịarịa azụ kpuchite ya ka ọkụkọ si ekpuchite ụmụ ya arapụkwana ya erapụ bịa n'oruru ahịa n'aha Grace okike abịa ma were asịkwa n'ụbọchị nke taa the land of the rising sun will love and cherish chukwu okike abịa ma okike kele ụwa gbasị bi n'igwe anyanwụ ụtụtụ nke na-awara Igbo nke na-awara olu wakele anyị na eke wakele anyị n'orie wakele anyị n'afọ wakele anyị na nkwọ wakele anyị n'ụtụtụ wakele anyị n'ehihie wakele anyị n'anyasị ụfụ anyị na mbata anyị the land of the rising sun will love and cherish anyanwụ ụtụtụ n'ụbọchị nke taa ka anyị na-ekwukwe n'isi ya kewakerịa na eke wakerịa n'orie wakerịa n'afọ n'ekwu ụmụ IPOB n'isi ụmụ Biafra niile wakele anyị na eke wakele anyị n'orie wakele anyị n'afọ wakele anyị na nkwọ wakele anyị n'ụtụtụ wakele anyị n'ehihie wakele anyị n'anyasị ụfụ anyị na mbata anyị dị gị n'aka ya eri ya ya dị gị n'aka buru anyị ma kpere ya azụ chukwu okike abịa ma n'isi nwanne anyị nwoke bụ Biafra United Channel otu anyị si wekwa n'isi ya ka ọ ga-esite n'isi ụmụ Biafra niile n'isi ụmụ IPOB niile n'isi indigenous people of Biafra niile n'ụbọchị taa bụ ụbọchị bụrụ eke otu anyị si kwe ka ọ ga-esi wee dị n'aha Great chukwu okike abịa ma onye anyị na-akpụ isi ala enye mgbe niile a na-agwọ ọ na-ere nke e mere jụọ oyi emekwa ọzọ
It's Young Flight in the mix. The silver jacket body with Biafra gun. Umokoko, mad people everywhere. Dara. What you don't know is bigger than you. 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 Hey, he depend me, oh gaga. He depend me, oh gaga. He depend me, oh gaga. This your G. He depend me, oh gaga. The worst thing you can do to a black man is to tell the black man the truth. Yeah. The worst thing you can do to a black man is to tell the black man the truth. Yeah. Ah, he depend me, oh gaga. Mama, he depend me, oh gaga. In this OG, he depend me, oh gaga. Sabotu has he depend me, oh for you. Obi daddy, obi them fools everywhere. Obi daddy, obi them fools everywhere. Obi daddy, obi them fools everywhere. When we talk about our freedom, we're not go the fence. When we talk about our freedom, they go the fence. When we talk about our freedom, you go the fence. Yeah, he depend me, oh gaga. Mama, he depend me, oh gaga. In this OG, he depend me, oh gaga. Sabotu has he depend me, oh gaga. Yeah, Biafra voice 247. Love you, we love you, everything me blue brother man, you know. We go Chris. Chiamaka, Ogarras, Rasta man of God. Love you. Yeah. Biafra, you know. Ikuku. Bad guy, you know. But the water master. Love you. I can't have a go on. I get young and where's the minute? All them enemies of Biafra. Mad people everywhere. You are living in darkness, suffering and smiling. When we talk about a freedom, now go the best. You are living in darkness, suffering and smiling. When we talk about a freedom, now go the best. Yeah, he depend me, oh, for you. He depend me, oh, gaga. Africans, he depend me, oh, gaga. Listen, G, he depend me, oh, gaga. Ah, he depend me, oh, gaga. Mama, he depend me, oh, gaga. I don't know what's wrong with the reasoning ability of a black man. My God. So I'm on that maximum respect. Yeah, he depend me, oh, for you. He depend me, oh, gaga. Africans, he depend me, oh, gaga. This your G, he depend me, oh, gaga.
Makana wapana kamado Muna kujukwe nanya Lepa mirirure Oge si makasuna no Oga think about your life Because the entire story Ndi botu inusi Agwa wati matano di Eburisi yana tesu Tiri ebe buha kwese Makano panu boko Opa tichiria Abona boson Ona yeku chikena kana Asi mabura kuno mare Ya buru biyaru Namogara pala namu Sorondi bozo Opa no maketo Money is not everything. Let's fight for our freedom. For our freedom is our right. Papa mo baramsi. Na Biafra balamu. Iya buna nilele. Kambu paraya no. Baka no jufe mata winyaka ye. Akalobe ilo leseya. Oye ufe mpara nifeya. Ika panuko. Biafra is my life. Biafra, I must go back to our land. And just the one who took us to say. Ogonye gawara mufero, ifa uke mere ya koye tego. Gana chopi me yoso, ogo lodira kuri kahala. Mano yesina bugoba na libu, wesi no choro wa Nigeria. Ya biko solo ndia usala ugausa, kanyo wezoro wa neba. Maka no buro lo ugausa, aze bugoba no yisi. Yoga kita kwandia usofuma.
All right. That was awesome. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, depending on your time zone. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. You are highly welcome to this very live presentation. We are live and direct. And of course, I want to let you know that Chukwuoki Kabia Mabineli Igwe is bearing us witness this very evening. Today's date is 1st of July 2024. And the time right now is approximately 30 minutes past 7 p.m. here in the land of Chukwuoki Kabia Mabineli Igwe, the land of Biafra. It is now officially confirmed 3 good years Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been under incarceration in the hands of the DSS of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. I welcome every one of you. I can see your names in the comment section. Of course, this one I will not be able to mention everyone's name, but I will start from the beginning, from those who even started commenting before the live stream started, before we started live streaming. So I am going to start welcoming you from top. And of course, I already have over 250 comments from 2 different platforms that we are broadcasting. And of course, the first name I have here on the list is Ozamaka Nicholas. Of course, that is a very old name. Onyochie Ibem, you are highly welcome to this very live presentation. Moses Azubike, you are welcome. Universal Queen, of course, I cannot forget that name. She is my sister, my blood sister. Esto Kuosa, Chineke Kwelifojo. These are old timers. These are people, we call them veterans in this very struggle. Frankie Ibe, you are welcome. Meko Nugu, you are welcome. Mazo Gochuku, you are welcome. Chasa Famefuna, you are welcome. Chinenye Obiefuna, Meko Nugu, Alozie Ambrose, you are welcome. Ayogo Davis, David, you are welcome. Chinenye Obiefuna, you're welcome. Fokenge Adidi, you are welcome. T Chachas, I can see you. Ulonso, you are welcome. Irene Nehi, you are welcome. My own person. Harisina Hameful, I can see you. Emenike Chibo, Lolon Norma, Paul CD. Oh my goodness me, of course, like as I said before, when I started mentioning and welcoming Ajibo Sunday, Onyenkem, you are welcome to this very live presentation. The names are too many as they keep coming thick and fast. I will offend a lot of people, of course, I can see. But I am very, very certain, and I'm sorry if I do not mention your name. But one thing is for sure, you have to keep commenting, because during the broadcast, your comment will, of course, attract and draw my attention, and that I will bring it to the screen. So you all are highly welcome, my brothers and sisters. I Abapi also immediately without any further hesitation. I see a lot of old names here because we are broadcasting from 2 different platforms. One is our old and men YouTube channel. Victor Mbemena, you are welcome. I can see you. We are broadcasting on 2 platforms. The first one is our main YouTube channel, which is Biafra Unite in capital letter. We are live over there. And of course, our new YouTube channel, we are also live on it. All right, wherever you are watching from, you are welcome. Please feel relaxed and do the needful by hitting the like button and, of course, the share button, so that every other Biafran will be aware that we are live and direct. Very, very important. All right, we will be dissecting a certain statement or publication on our own. On our own today in the morning, or should I say afternoon. This very afternoon on our own, we began to see headline flying left and center. I said, what is going on? People, my message was full. People were sending me message, the headline. I checked. I saw a headline that some unscrupulous elements. I want you to tag somebody here. If you haven't shared the broadcast, I don't know what you're waiting for, because we have come here to dissect them, put them in one corner where they belong. Ba foto ni mafia ma obulu kwa Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to Mazi Simon Ekpa. Ba foto ni mafia. Now this afternoon, as the message keep flying all over the places, and I opened my WhatsApp, I saw a lot of headlines, a lot of messages. They said they have, or they are, or they, should I say, they have messaged the Finnish government to commence the repatriation of the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Oh, Diego. Oh, Diego. And to make the matter worse, they said they are from Southeast. They said they are from Southeast. Now, I will send a message to them because I know the reason for all these shenanigans. Without wasting any time, let me first of all bring something to the screen, which we will be talking about this very evening. We are not going to take time. I'm not going to take your time because I want this very live presentation not to last more than 2 hours. Yes, that's my plan. I don't want it to go beyond 2 hours, maybe even less than that. Depends on what we are going to encounter during the broadcast. So please, if you haven't shared it, endeavor to do so. Kindly do so, because we are not going to spend much time here. Now let me bring the first topic to the screen before we delve into the other one. I just want to acknowledge this. I just want to make mention of it. Not that I was expecting anything. I never expected anything from the zoo. I never expected anything from the court, from the zoo court. I always know that it's going to be kangaroo. That is the reason why we determined to delegitimize the zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom from Biafra land, without waiting for the court of the zoo to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We saw it from beginning. I remember the first ever interview that I had with the Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa in September 2021. In that very interview, maybe one of these days I may stream it. I may stream it live, at least to refresh our memories. I asked him, what is the fate of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu since the criminals have cancelled sit at home illegally? though the sit at home continues, as we all can see. But what is the fate of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Are we going to hold on and wait for the zoo court to free him? Mazi Simon Ekpa said that we cannot in any way wait for the zoo court to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu because that may not happen, especially anytime soon, especially for now. He said it. That we are the ones who are going to fight for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He said it. And of course, since then till today, we have never backed down. We have never abandoned him. Can you imagine that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came to court on the 19th of June 2024, which made it 3 good years of his kidnap from Kenya, which made it 3 good years that the filthy hands of the zoo agents laid on the innocent man like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Very soon, we will start calling him Saint Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. A living saint. So, if on 19th of, had it been, not even if, had it been that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came to court on the 19th of June, that made it 3 years of his incarceration, and asked his attorneys about the Biafran people, the well-being of the Biafran people. How is the Biafran people faring? And what about the Biafra freedom fight? What about the Biafra agitation? Let me use that soft one, agitation. Had it been that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu queried in the court what is going on with the freedom fight of the Biafra, and they told him, anyway, the leadership decided to, hold on for now, and first of all, fight for your release from the zoo court, and when you come back, then the struggle will continue. Can you imagine that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gets this kind of response? As you are listening to me right now, can you imagine what would have happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that he was going back to the DSS dungeon that same day on the 19th of June, and the response he got after 3 good years was that, anyway, everybody is going about their normal businesses in the Southeast. Everything is normal, everybody's waiting for you to come back so that the struggle will continue. Everything is normal. People are enjoying their lives, even though Tinubu's administration is not good for anybody. But at least the Southeast is calm. Everywhere is very cool. People are living their normal lives. Oh, so you were supporting me when I was outside, shouting on top of my voice, galvanizing the minds of our people, calling Biafrans to come together for their freedom. Now I have issues. Now I'm inside, and you abandoned me, waiting for me to come out and then to continue again where I stopped. Can you imagine? Can you just tell yourself the truth? What would have been the mindset of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu going back to the DSS dungeon that very day on the 19th of June? That made it 3 good years of his kidnap in Kenya. By now, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would have given up, resigned, and tell the zoo government, I know they do again, make una call remove me from here. Obinyelo Fakana Anakuko. Obinyelo Fakana Akuko immediately put down his signature. I'm spending my time here fighting for people who do not even regard me. They are waiting for me to come back and continue. So all the whole things I've been teaching all of you, all the whole things I've been doing, lecturing you people, telling you how to do this and that, have all been in vain. Have all been in vain. That nobody is able to give it to them woto. Among all of you that call yourself my disciples, all of you from all around the world, none of you is able to rise up to continue from where I stopped and continue to give it to the zoo woto. Wum. Onad everywhere. Wum. Osonaba. Newspaper na-ebu ya, TV na-ebu ya, ụwa niile na-ekwu okwu ya. Biafra na-ekwu everywhere. So none of you is able to pick courage and rise up and continue, even do worse, even do more than I ever dreamed of. If not for anything, for my kidnap. If not for anything, for my kidnap. None of you is able to do it. Can you imagine how demoralized Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would have been had it been they did not give him that news at the law court? Don't worry about whatever he said. Don't worry. Don't just bother yourself. Whatever Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says in the court, don't bother yourself. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about any single word that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu says in the court. Don't even have a sleepless night over it. Don't worry about it. But the word that I have told you today, this evening, now, that what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would have been, had it been he was told that Southeast is okay, everybody is going about their normal businesses, the leadership of IPOB is waiting for you to come back and continue from where you stopped. That means the Biafran people have literally forgotten about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But the best news ever that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would ever dreamt of is to hear the news that there is somebody that he was even dreaming of, he was eyeing, believing that this person has what it takes to do even more to get to the promised land should anything happens to me moving forward. For him to hear that news that there is somebody that he already knew that can do something, and he recommended him. He also prophesied that he is bringing a new dimension. For Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to get the news that that person is pulling the strings, that he's not just steering the ship, but he's already taking the ship to the final destination. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can even say, okay, just give me another 2 more years. I'm ready to be here in the dungeon. He will go back to that dungeon a happy man. Not he will. He went back a happy man in the DSS dungeon. So anybody that sees Mazi Simon Ekpa in Finland or wherever you meet him, please give him 1 bottle for me. Cliff Ibe, I can see you. That's an old name. Thank you for... I have to stop saying that's an old name because a lot of people who are here have been in the struggle for very many years. Anybody that sees Mazi Simon Ekpa anywhere, wherever you meet him, give him 1 bottle for me and I'm going to get the money. So, as you can see on your screen, the zoo court said they have dismissed Mazenam Dekano's 1 billion naira suit against the federal government of the zoo for human rights abuse. Let me just read it. I don't have time to analyze this because I have never, from beginning, I have never expected anything from the zoo court. Even that appeal court ruling was a shocker. Thank God for somebody like Aloy Ejimako that came up with that very word called extraordinary rendition. If not, all those fulefu, both in the Gogoro, what do you call it? Senior advocate of the zoo. Senior advocate of the zoo. What do you call them in abbreviation? Senior advocate of the zoo. Can somebody help me? What? SAN. San. Mad people everywhere. They say their name na San. Yet you don't know the name of the crime being committed against your client. Mad people everywhere. Thank God for Aloy Ejimako. The moment he mentioned that name, extraordinary rendition, that was the end of the zoo. The zoo Ethiopia. For that case of Mazenam Dekano, that was the end of that case. The moment that word was mentioned, boom, from Aloy Ejimako, the zoo entered into one chance all over the world. Of course, we all know the meaning of rendition. As far as you know English word, I am very certain that you know the meaning of rendition. And we also know the meaning of extraordinary. We know. Once you know English word, you know the meaning of extraordinary for sure. But have you ever known that you can put those two words together and it becomes a very high profile crime being committed by a state against an individual? Will you ever know? Extraordinary rendition. Have you ever known that that was a crime, a high profile crime? Please let me know if you knew it before. Can you make a vote? If you knew it before, can you tell me in the comment section? If you don't know it, tell me. Just say yes or no. If you know it, say yes. If you don't know it, say no. I'm very certain no, a comment section now. I'm very, very certain about that. Be sincere to yourself. Say no if you didn't know it, but say yes if you knew it. Just type no or yes. You see? So people call themselves San. They were carrying. I'm not saying if you know the meaning of extraordinary or if you know the meaning of rendition. I'm talking about bringing those two words together and knowing that this is a high-profile crime that a state can commit against an individual. I am 1,000,000% sure that 99.999% of the entire zoological republic of Animal Kingdom or animals in Animal Kingdom do not know anything about that, including their so-called professionals. They everywhere. San, I'm a san. And I saw san while you know nothing. You took Aloy Ejimako. Now, they say the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Mazenam Dekano, has lost his fundamental rights enforcement suit filed against the federal government of the zoo. How would he lose a case like that? Right abuse. So the judge that, denied the case, is he not aware? Doesn't he know the meaning of fundamental human right or fundamental rights? And is he not aware the meaning of right abuse? Is he not aware the meaning of right abuse? Of course he knows. He knows. But the people that employed him, his employee, his and what? Is it employee? Employ what? Somebody help me and Andy Bosin Uche na Abia. Uche na Abia. His employees or what? Who is the boss? Is it employee or can you help me, please? Somebody help me. Hmm? Somebody help me. His employers. Thank you. Employee is the worker. The person that is employed is the employee. So his employers are his bosses, those that employed him. Now, let's continue. Is this man not aware? What is the name of the judge? Look at the person here. Justice James Omotosho. Omotosho. Those days when we were growing up, they used to tell us that Yorubas are very well educated. We thought that Igbos are only good in business. We never knew that Igbos are actually number one in education all over Africa. They used to confuse us. These are the lies that they told us in order to demoralize the Igbo man, in order to bring us to the lowest level. Go and check the professors in history of the zoo. Till today, both old and current, Igbos are still number one. Go and check engineers. Go and check doctors, nurses. Go and check them. Midwives. Go and check them. Igbos are still number one, both in the old and in the new. Go and check it till today. But they will come, Yorubas are very well educated. Igbos are business-oriented set of people. So we're doing only business, right? We are no longer into education. Yet, we still have the highest number of professors. Philip Emeagwali, to his blessed memory, I believe that man is late, is the one that revived computer that we are using till today. If not, even in the year 2000, computer would have crashed. The whole world would have been under darkness. It took Philip Emeagwali to set computer in the level that it is today. He's an Igbo man from Anambra State. That one, they can never tell you his history. They can never tell you about him in order to put the Igbo man down. Now, they say Justice James Omotosho held that Kanu failed to provide credible evidence of... let me read it in full. They said on Monday, Justice James Omotosho held that Kanu failed to provide credible evidence to substantiate his claims that his interactions with his lawyers were interfered by the respondent, that he was denied unfettered access to his lawyers, or that DSS officials eavesdropped on his conversations with his lawyers, which constituted a breach of his right to a fair hearing. You see? So this man called Omotosho is not aware that the room where Mazinam Kanu says his lawyers is bugged. Is he not aware that the room is bugged? That the DSS listens to every single thing that they talk about. So somebody said Philip Emeagwali is still alive. Thank God, though, because there's a time when we're all Ebu rumor. There's a time, yeah, of course, he's a US citizen. I know that one. Thank God, though, that he's still alive. There's a time they rumored, there was a rumor about his death. Thank God. I'm sorry. God forbid. In fact, I was thinking that the rumor was true. Thank God he's still alive. So we continue. Now, I don't want to dwell on this because I already knew from beginning that nothing will come out of the court of the zoo. Because people who spent billions, millions of dollars, and billions, if not trillions, of worthless naira to commit such crime, such abomination against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, flew all the way to Kenya to kidnap him. They did not use, remember one thing, that they did not travel to Kenya with helicopter. I want you to pay attention, because the last time I checked, from the zoo to Kenya is 6 good hours, 6-hour flight. 6-hour flight. I just want you to pay attention. So a place, a distance of 6-hour flight is not meant for helicopter. Helicopter cannot fly it. So meaning that the zoo did not travel from Nigeria, from Abuja to Nairobi to kidnap Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with a helicopter. That is not possible, because if they had gone with helicopter, it could have landed anywhere without the consent of the government. They can even land on top of the roof, kidnap him and squeeze him through the roof and flew back to the zoo from top of the roof. So it would have been possible. But the distance is too far that a helicopter couldn't have done that job, meaning that they went with jet. They went with at least with a private jet. So where would this private jet land? At the airport. The private jet landed at the airport, and you cannot pass through the airport without the consent of the airport officials and the immigration. So meaning, when the airport officials and the immigrations are aware, that means the government is aware. So for the government to be aware and allow such illegality to happen, that means so much money has passed through the account of the government. That's where I am driving this matter to. So for them to spend that billions of worthless, if not trillions of worthless naira and millions of dollars to commit such heinous crime, and you think they will just come and then they will give you judge that will say, okay, for the fact that you are innocent, I discharge and acquit you. That mistake happened. That very mistake happened during the during the battle of the appeal court. That mistake happened at the appeal court. It was a great mistake in the eyes of the zoo, because they never knew that justice would have prevailed at the appeal court. They never knew anything like that would have happened. So it was a great error for them. And that one that happened has happened. And they are not ready to make such mistake again. So any judge they are giving to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be a judge certified by the zoo government to work for them. They are coming to work for the zoo government, not to work for the interest of the interest of justice. No, it's for the interest of the federal government. So this one, everybody must understand it. When I sat down and did all these calculations from beginning since 2021, I told myself, hey, this matter is actually in our own hands, not in the hands of the court. Is in our hands, because for them to commit such crime, it's not something you just come and say, okay, fine, you don't be, oh yeah, begin to go. We discharge you. No. Now we go fight for them. And thank God we have been doing that diligently since 2021, after defeating the criminals and pass vote of no confidence on them and sideline them. Since then, we have been doing the needful till today without backing down. And that is the lifeline of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still breathing till today. That is the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still standing gidigba till today. And that is the reason why Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never giving up on Biafra and will never give up on Biafra. Because of people like us, because of somebody like Mazi Simon Ekpa. Write it down. Whenever he comes out, he will still say it. He will say it. That one, I will beat my chest and say it 1,000,000 times. All right, now let us go to this Isapunti Abado, the reason why we have come here this very evening. Please, if you haven't shared the broadcast, I want you to take your time and do so. Very, very important. Because Anya Batago na isi Sepunti Abado, and whenever you stop hearing my voice, please let me know in the comment section. Once you stop hearing my voice, do not hesitate to alert me in the comment section. Very, very important. Because we don't trust the network. So when you look at the screen, you will see what is there. Within 50 minutes of this very broadcast, we are over 1,200 people watching live. So we are progressing. From 2 different platforms, we are broadcasting live and direct. All right, let us continue. Let us continue right now without wasting any time. You can see on your screen, they said, Southeast Professionals. Hey, oh, there you go. Oh, there you go. Zoological Republic. They said, Southeast Professionals condemn sit at home once Ekpa repatriated. They want Ekpa repatriated. Wonders shall never end. I wonder why this I wonder why I can't make use of the mouse on Vanguard. What's wrong with Vanguard? I can't make use of mouse on this site. Oh my goodness me. Okay. They said Southeast Professionals condemn sit at home. They condemn sit at home and want Ekpa repatriated. Now, you ask yourself, who are these Southeast professionals? Where did they come from? What are their names? Which part of Southeast do they come from? These are very, very... What's going on? Why am I hearing the sound? So, you ask yourself, who are these people? Where are they from? What is wrong with them? What part of Southeast are they from? These are very, very serious questions begging for an answer. And I'm going to explain some things to you. I will explain some things to you moving forward. So all I want you to do is just to pay attention. First of all, let me see if I can, of course, bring this very article or read this very article from a different platform, because it is quite unfortunate that this Guardian News is not accepting my my mouse. I can't use my mouse on this very platform, on the guidance, what do you call it, on the guidance website. So let me read this news from another platform, because they are not the only one who have already published this very junk. So because other news media platforms have done the same as well. So let us read. Oh my goodness me. So let's read from Vanguard, and then see how they have reported it on their own. So let's move. All right. This is from Vanguard News, Nigeria. They said, Southeast professionals task Finnish government on repatriation of Simon Ekpa. Southeast professionals. Are they trying to intimidate us with that name, professionals? Are they really trying to intimidate us with that name, professionals? Let us read in details. They said, prominent sons and daughters of Southeast extraction have condemned in very strong terms the sit-at-home order enforced by suspected members of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB, and their security arm, the Eastern Security Network. We are no longer here to debunk the name, whichever name they can use, whichever name they like. It doesn't change anything. They can use whichever name they like. No problem. We are in for them. We are very, very okay with whatever name they want to use. Call it IPOB, call it Eastern Security Network, whichever name. We already know their fear. We know why they are afraid. They don't want to use the word Biafra Republic Government in Exile. They don't want to use that word government. That is prohibited. That is very, very prohibited as far as the zoo is concerned, because they cannot afford to use their own mouth and validate the Biafra government in exile. So they can't afford it. So if you're expecting them to start calling Biafra government in exile, I don't think that will happen. And for them to use the name, apart from, there's one man, by the way, one man from TVC. I even shared that very video sometime in the past, few days ago or a few weeks ago. He made a mistake from beginning of that very conversation. He made a mistake and mentioned the Biafra government in exile. He made a mistake to say that, So even the other one, the other Fuku, the bloated idiot, the other day, the one I think I exposed him the other day. So the bloated fool who said Simon Ekpa, who claimed to have formed Biafra in exile, he also skipped the word government. The bloated fool, what's his name? KO, what do they call that idiot? Can somebody help me with his name in the comment section, please? Very, very important, because you know that I'm talking to you. There's that bloated fool in that works with TVC. Jide, thank you, Chris Emi. Jide, that idiot called Jide, just the other day, he was making a comment on Mazi Simon Ekpa. Mazi Simon Ekpa, claiming to have formed Biafra in exile. He jumped Biafra. A very simple thing, Biafra government in exile, but he jumped the government and said Biafra in exile. So with that, you should know that they cannot afford to validate the government by themselves. even though they know that it is there, it is existing, is already existing, and they all also know that the American Justice Department, a justice arm of the government of America, has acknowledged and recognized Biafra Republic government in exile as an entity. The in democracy we have three arms of government. We have executive, we have judiciary, and then we have what's the other one? Armed forces or what? The arm wing of the government. Three arms of the the government. That's what we have in democracy. Now, a one arm of the government of America, which is the justice arm of the government, has recognized the legislative. Yeah, I think that legislative is still the same with judiciary. They are the same. It depends on the name which we use. Now, this legislative arm of American government has recognized the Biafra government in exile as an entity. So, but the Zoo newspaper, the Zoo media cannot use the word Biafra government in exile. Likewise, the army, they cannot use the word Biafra Liberation Army. Never. They can never do that. If you're expecting them to do that, you might be wasting your time. And you might wait till eternity. Till Biafra come, you will never hear them use that. So, now, at the end of it, they tell you Eastern Security Network. They have two reasons of using that word. First of all, the first one is that they can't afford to validate that Biafra now has army, even though they know that it's real. They know very well that it is real and is there, well recognized, well respected in Biafra territory. They know that it's there, but they can't use their own hand to cause their own downfall. So that is why they try to to avoid it. That's why every time they tell you ESN, that is number one reason. Then number two reason is that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is the one that formed ESN, and they are holding him. They have him in their dungeon, in their custody. So they rather continue with the name of the organization formed by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even though they know that the organization is no longer on existence. They will rather hold on to that because they are holding the leader. So these are two reasons. They will always use that word, Eastern Security Network and IPOB. Now, they say the group said that the needless action has continued to have negative effect on the socio-economic well-being of the people. The people in question, are they complaining? Are they complaining? Is there any any sign or in any program that is being organized by the people, and you see people of the so-called Southeast lamenting and complaining that Simon Ekpa is causing harm to their well-being? Have anybody seen any video like that? Of course, I know as they are hearing me now. Tomorrow, don't be surprised if you see any video flying everywhere tomorrow, where some group of people gathered in the name of market women, crying and lamenting, mentioning the name of someone. Don't be surprised. Do not be surprised if you see any video like that, because this broadcast that I'm making right now is already all over the place. So don't be shocked. If you see anything like that, just know that yes, They have listened, and that's why they went to do. So nobody has ever, we have now seen any video where market women or children or school children are lamenting and crying that Simon Ekpa, leave us alone, no, you are killing us. We have never had or seen anything like that. But of course, tomorrow, I will wait for them to go and do nonsense. I will still come here with their video. I will still come here with their video and do justice to it. Now they said, oh, this is their name. I can see. Now let's read. Operating under the canopy of Coalition of Southeast Professionals Network in Nigeria and diaspora. See, let us take our time to read their abbreviation. CSEPNND. Let's take it again. CSEPNND. I might pronounce this till thy kingdom come, yet I will never pronounce it properly. CSEPNNDE. Okay, let us continue, because as far as I'm concerned, as far as Biafra land is concerned, as far as even the so-called Southeast is concerned, there is no any organization called CSEPNNDD. There is nothing like that. This is fraud. And I'll tell you where it's coming from. Now, they said, the critical stakeholders said that apart from losing lives of innocent, hardworking Igbo businesses, apart from losing lives of innocent, hardworking Igbo businesses have continued to suffer. They said businesses have continued to suffer due to the activities of the secessionists. And they continued. Specifically, the professionals decry the buying of soldiers at a military checkpoint in Abia State about 2 weeks ago, urging the authorities to do everything within the bounds of law to apprehend the buyers and their sympathizers and bring them to deserved justice. Now, till today, listen to me, my people. This is very, very interesting. Till today, Monagona now, they are still crying and asking the so-called authority to bring to justice those that sent those soldiers to judgment. Yet, on the other hand, the zoo the zoo military has told us that they have apprehended those that sent the soldiers to judgment. Man, how I wish I could, talk about this. I would have prepared that very, press release of the military press briefing, where they claim to have apprehended those that sent the soldiers to judgment. I can do that. There's nothing I cannot do on this on live broadcast. I can do that. I can easily do that, my people. Moku no do am. Moku try. Let's try. Let us not be in a hurry. Let's not be in a hurry. Even though I have prepared 1 hour, 2 hours maximum for this very broadcast, but we can still do it. Let's look for at least on Adema and because if you don't show the when you want to expose evil, expose it to the maximum. So let me try. If it doesn't work, then we will leave it for another day. Let me just put in my best. If my best is not good enough, We'll leave it for another day. Let me try and see if I can see that publication where the Zoo Janjaweed claimed, it's not even quite long ago, they claimed to have apprehended those who sent the soldiers to judgment in Aba. Have any of you, did any of you see that publication just few weeks ago or days? Did any of you see that publication? Please let me know if you see that publication in the comment section. Let me look for it just within 1 minute. Let me try. Because on a day, or the ma any kweku ane. I believe I will see it. Oh, let's try and see if it's gonna come up. Mad people everywhere. Mad people everywhere. Mad people everywhere. Yes. Yes. Zoological. No wonder ndị na-eme comedy. All these comedians. Fapụta fasi Nigeria is a cruise. This live. They say this life is not can the comedians say queer? This life is not balanced. Zoo Anamaduni. Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom Anamaduni. I've seen it. Search no more. Search no more. I have seen it. Now, let me first of all bring it once again. Let me bring it back once again. The particular publication we are reading. Let me bring it back. This is where we are, right? This is where we are. This is where we are. Now, this is exactly where we are at the moment. They said that, look at what they said there. Specifically, the professionals decried the buying of soldiers at a military checkpoint in Abia State about 2 weeks ago, urging. Now look out, this is the reason why I looked for that very publication couple of weeks back. They said, urging the authorities to do everything within the bounds of law to apprehend the buyers and their sympathizers and bring them to deserved justice. So, and who are they bringing to justice? And who are they urging the authorities to apprehend? They are urging the authorities to apprehend those that acquired 5 military officers at Obikabia Junction in Abia State. Now, having shown you this, let me now show you, let me bust their bubbles. So since then, after military claiming to have arrested those that committed that committed the drama, those that acted the drama, after claiming to have arrested those who acted that very film, that very movie at Obikabia Junction, now they came back 2 weeks ago to tell us military raids IPOB enclaves, arrest buyers of 5 soldiers in Abia. Arrest those that sent those soldiers to judgment in Abia State. And this happened 2 weeks ago. Look at it here. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. On the 13th of June, 2024, at exactly 3 p.m. This publication was made 13th June 2024, where they told us that they have apprehended those that sent those military officers to judgment in Obikabia Junction, Aba. And here we are today. Telling us that they must go and apprehend. So who are the people that the Zoo Janjaweed claimed to have apprehended? Who are those people? Ike kwoguru. Obunike agwuro. Obunike agwuro. Chai! Alo melundizu. Propaganda can never win you this battle. There is no any possibility in the world that propaganda wins you a war. Not in this current age. It happened before, in the olden days. It happened before. And you know what? The British people are not aware that propaganda does no longer win wars. That is the reason why, excuse me, that is the reason why every little thing they keep on carrying propaganda till today. Even between Russia and Ukraine, Britain is still carrying propaganda till today. Every single thing is propaganda for them. And they have taught Fulani that same nonsense of propaganda. So now, Ima ndị Igbo si na ọ na-abụ o nwere ife ndị Igbo kpọrọ onute ka dị osho. Ọ dị osho ka ọ dị ocho. Onute ka dị osho. Iburo dibia. You are not a native doctor, right? But you even prepare charm more than native doctors. That is what Fulani does. Imo ọkụkọ chi ụmụ ọfunni ọkụkọ chi ụmụ funni the one esi abụ ya ụbụ, or in fact ọ na-adị ya ka o nwere ife pụrụ ya n'arụ. Ọkụkọ chi ụmụ funni ala agba ya. That is Fulani for you. What they don't know, once they show them that small road, Pim, that is a typical black man for you. When they show you that small road, when they show you that small road, then you will do even more than the person that showed you the road. That is a typical black man for you. The British people taught Fulani propaganda, and now they're even carrying the propaganda more than the British, even against themselves. Forgotten that the world has moved on. The world is evolving each and every year. New things are coming up. Now we have technology. So it is very, very difficult. In fact, it is near impossible. It is near impossible to win a war with propaganda and Ekpa. Because of what? We now have technologies. Look at us, I'm here now broadcasting. Within 1 hour, we already have over 1,300 people watching live and direct within 1 hour. And it is not going to end here. It's not going to end here. By the time you come back in the morning, you know how many people must have that must have seen this broadcast. So now they say this was as they charge the Finnish government as well as the European Union. Oh my goodness. And another thing there when we went out, they call themselves professionals. That's another thing there when we were. Another thing there when we were. Is another thing there when we were. They call themselves professionals. How can you call yourself a professional and you are calling European Union to do what? European Union to do what? Let us hear what they ask European Union to do. They said to immediately activate measures leading to the repatriation of a fugitive. They call themselves professionals and they still call a citizen a fugitive. Hi, hello, Meli. Hi, Owana. Hi, Owadikwa Munnem. Owadikwa Munnem. Owadikwa Munnem. Hi, Chai, Owadikwa Munnem. Chai. Why? Hey, sorry. Anyway, I will tell you the people that wrote this letter. I will tell you who wrote this letter. Just calm down. Let's continue. I will tell you who wrote the letter because I've done my findings. I have done my findings. Now, they said this was as they charged the Finnish government as well as the European Union, EU, to immediately activate measures leading to the repatriation of a fugitive, Simon Ekpa, who has continued to denigrate the image and dignity of Nigeria. There is no dignity in the zoo. That name is already abomination. That very name is an abomination. Because as far as that name is concerned, the white people, the European Union you are talking to, understand the meaning of your name. They understand the meaning of your name. So you are telling them denigrating the dignity, the image and dignity of Nigeria when they know that your name is a nigger. You are just a set of niggers, found around a river called Niger. Yes. And remember, that river is not, the original name is not Niger. Remember that? Because Niger or Niger is a foreign name. So there is a name. There's an original name called that very river, which we are going to we are not renaming. We are going to bring back the original name our fathers called that very river before the invasion of the British. So we're going to scrap that name because that water, that very river is is highly strategic for the Igbo land alone. Extremely strategic. That very water, River Niger, is highly strategic in the land of Igbo. So we cannot allow that name to continue. Once Biafra comes, we will change. We will bring back the original name. So they know. They already know. They know very well your name. They know the meaning of your name. They know that you are just a set of idiots, found around a particular river, and they called you niggers because they refer us as as niggers, as black people. So you are around black people who live around that very river. That the area around that that is what they called you, nigger area. Or they said that this area, we have opened a company here, and there are people that live within that very company. So we don't know their name. So their name is niggers. So let us just call them nigger. This area belongs to the niggers. That is what you are. So they know very well who you are. So calling them and telling them somebody is denigrating your name and your image, you are sorry. You are not informed too. You are not informed too. Jonathan, good luck. Now, they say the professionals convey their position in a statement signed on Wednesday by Prof. Chika Madumere, National President, Mazuche Ibokwe, National Secretary, Mazuchi Ibokwe, National Secretary, and Dr. Mrs. Chioma Madoka, Coordinator, Women Wing. While commenting ongoing kinetic and non-kinetic actions by Operation Udoka, the group, which comprises intellectuals, politicians, entrepreneurs, and other prominent indigenes, urge Southeasterners at home in the diaspora at home in the diaspora to support the military in order to root out criminal elements terrorizing the area. The statement reads, Southeast professionals condemn in totality the mindless sit-at-home order declared and enforced by members of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and their militant arm, the Eastern Security Network, ESN. We regret to state that this development has continued to have negative effect on the socioeconomic and political lives of Southeast indigents and residents who suffer losses each time the aberration happens. Each time the aberration happens. So now they said, as a people, we are known to be peaceful and hospitable, considering our entrepreneurial spirit, which makes us accommodating in every aspect. It is noteworthy that whatever IPOB members are agitating for may have lost its steam and essence against the backdrop of the fact that their brothers and sisters are the ones at the receiving end of their activities. Also deserving of our loud condemnation is the recent attack on troops at a checkpoint in Abia State, resulting in killing of at least 5 soldiers whose only sin was the protection of lives and property of indigents. As a result of this dastardly act and others across our states, we declare total support for Operation Udoka and urge the military to ensure that the enemies of Southeast are smoked out from wherever they may be hiding and dealt with appropriately. We also use this opportunity to appeal to the government of Finland and the European Union, EU, to repatriate the fugitive Simon Ekpa, who has continued to instigate violence from his hiding place while disparaging the Nigeria state. From his hiding place. Last time I checked, Mazi Simon Ekpa usually go outing. Even most of the times he take his son out, out for football or for swimming or for many things. He goes out in like every other normal human being. Now, without we are going to I told you I know the person who wrote this, right? I'm going to tell you who wrote it. Forget about these names you see here. Don't mind all these concocted, stupid, and idiotic name written here are all fake. I will tell you who wrote it. All these names you see here, where are those names? All these ones, all these useless names you see here, they are all fake. These are all fake names. I will tell you who wrote it. I will actually tell you the person who wrote this junk. Just be with us. Just bear with me. Now they say, meanwhile, the CSEPNND has tasked political authorities in the zone, especially governors, federal and state lawmakers, and ministers, on the compelling need to support the military in its quest to restore peace and order across the Southeast geopolitical entity. The group also passed a vote of confidence in the military high command led by the Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, General Christopher Gwabim Musa. Hi, Chinikimi. I will tell you who wrote it. Don't worry yourself. I will tell you the person in question who wrote this, and then I will tell you the gang of the before I tell you the person who wrote it, I'm going to do something very, very important, very, very significant, as I usually do, so that can we keep for Tony Mafia. I basia for Tony Mafia. All right, let's continue. This is very, very interesting. This is becoming very, very, very interesting. They said, all right, they said, the statement concluded thus: we are by this statement challenging our political office holders, especially governors, senators, members of House of Representatives, ministers, and House of Assembly members, to show more commitment to the fight against insecurity by providing funds and equipment to the military and other security agencies operating in their land. There is the urgent need for Southeast states to set up internal security platforms to complement the effort of the military and other security agencies. What about Ebubatono? What about the Anambra Vigilante group, Anambra Vigilante, AVG, Anambra Vigilante Group, AVG, that Soludo is using to cause terror in Anambra State? What about that one? What about the Newi Vigilante Group, Ifanyobas terrorist group? What about them? What about Forest Guard in Enugu State? What are they doing? What about the Deadman Squad? What are they doing? You still want to set up another one? The same people setting up armed groups, giving them compassion to commit crime in our land. The same group. You have met your Waterloo, Ekpa. You have met your Waterloo, Ekpa. Now they said, we will continue to sorry, excuse me. They said, we will not conclude without commenting the untiring effort made by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tauri Labaja, Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ogala, and the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Abubakar Hassan, to defend Nigeria's sovereignty against violations. Nigeria's sovereignty. Oh, Guinea. I remember my sister. Where is my sister? Kedafa, my sister. Adadiola mma onye nkem. With vam 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 fasino. Oh, Guinea. Mad people everywhere. Ndị isi ojii. Kedu ife anyị melụ ndị isi ojii? Now, when you read these things and when you go through this nonsense, you may say because they say they are from Southeast. Some people will be commenting. They say Igbos don't love themselves. Who told you that Igbos don't love themselves? Who told you that? You can never get a better, a better tribe in the world today. You can never see any tribe in the world today that love themselves more than the Igbo tribe. I can assure you that. That is not why we are here now, but I can give you instances. That is the reason why wherever you go in the world today, Igbo people gather themselves in a certain area and do their normal businesses, their legitimate businesses. Yes. That is sign of love. That is sign of unity. That is sign of oneness. Igbos gather themselves in one particular area. Challenge each other. Compete with each other to become best and better, because without competition you can never bring the best out of yourself. We love competition within ourselves. We love competition. And that competition is not envy. It depends on how you see it. Competition has nothing to do with envy. With competition, you can be able to bring the best out of yourself. So Igbos go to anywhere they go in the world, they gather themselves together. Let us use ordinary Lagos as an example. Where do you have Igbos in Lagos? You go to Alaba, they are Igbos. Go to Trade Fair, they are Igbos. They gather themselves together, they pamper each other, they rapport within themselves. Work together. Even though you go to Alaba, if you leave east today and travel to Lagos, go to Alaba with nothing, without anything, and you are focused. If you are focused, give yourself only 2 years. 2 years. If you don't own a shop, at least you own a counter. If you don't own a shop, after 2 years of hustling in Alaba, you must own a counter. At least ordinary counter, and you left with nothing. You left east with nothing. So don't buy that idea of Igbos don't love that. There's nothing like that. Absolutely nothing. Go to abroad, you see. Igbo people gather themselves in one place, do their businesses, challenge themselves, bring out the best in them. And that is the envy of other tribes, not just in the zoo, but other parts of Africa, or if not the world at large. Now, coming back to this junk, this is their name. They say this is their name here, right? Let us first of all copy their full name. Operating under the canopy of Coalition of Southeast Professionals Network in Nigeria and Diaspora. This is their name, their full name. Let us copy
has remained adamant that he probably is not going to allow this. He said the unity of Nigeria is non-negotiable. That clearly indicates that he's not going to relent in his push to silence any voice of dissenting as far as that position is concerned. So which way forward to heal the divide between or amongst the Nigerians, especially on Biafra crisis?
I think the best thing is to ask them what they want. I remember one time Professor Wole Soyinka said, if we can continue fighting Biafrans for such a long time, it's not long before we go to war, which is actually happening right now. Why don't we ask them what they want? And for sure they have voiced and they have said it, that they want referendum. Why? Because for a long time, they do not have a mutual understanding with the rest of the Nigeria nation. They are not understood. They are marginalized for such a long time. They are not wanted by the rest of the Nigerian government. So the best thing is to take them to a referendum so that we know exactly what they want and separate them if that is exactly what they want. Why? Because if we continue like this, these are crises not only in Nigeria, but it will have a ripple effect to the bordering countries. And with time, it will have a big effect to the African countries. As I'm talking, Africa has the largest immigrants to the world. It has the largest refugees to the rest of the continents. Why is that so? It's because of such crises that we can see in Biafra and Amazonia and other countries like Sudan. So I think before we even move forward, it's very important that we give or they're given referendum. From there, they can be able to sort out the rest of the challenges. And it's quite unfortunate because we have diplomatic missions in Nigeria. Why can't they take that issue with them and sort it out? Why are they quiet? Why is the world quiet when Biafrans are suffering? Why is the world quiet when we know very well that such issues can affect the whole of the African continent? It's quite sad, and that's why as Punchline Africa TV will continue talking to the world and saying that these people need a referendum. They're not needed. If you don't need me in your space, give me what I want so that I can self-govern myself, which I think it's a good way and a diplomatic way of allowing people to go their way.
That would be cool. Coupled with that, I would like you to approach it from a different angle altogether. What probably could have informed this agitation for, of course, separation, for a referendum to go separate ways between, of course, Nigeria and the people of Biafra? Let's approach it from that angle, as you and ask ourselves, what probably can we do to see into it that we find a healing in this divide?
Yeah, I think it's paramount to understand that for starters, there was no redemption, and the word you just used, healing, from the first Biafran crisis in 1967, to the 3 years fighting. And if you remember very well, there was a brief period where they got their independence, and then the Nigerian military decided to send all the planes to just bomb indiscriminately anybody who was found in that region. And those scars are passed on in what is called transgenerational trauma. You don't even have to tell your child about this. It's the same thing that affects most African countries. You don't really need to tell your child, hate this person or hate this person, but the way you behave and the way you talk about these things and the tone with which you use, your children pick that, and then they grow up with that. They send it to their children and their children's children, and each generation comes forth understanding their history and knowing very well that we are the people who have been marginalized in a country where we are one of the most, we are creating profit. We're bringing GDP, one of the highest rates of GDP. We're bringing the largest group of intelligent people. We're bringing the largest group of talented people. And yet we are the people who are not benefiting from all this. And this crisis goes on in most of the countries that we are finding, we are finding, in the African continent with protests currently like Amazonia and Ethiopia. If you bring in another angle of how the Nigerian government has been dealing with this agitation, I believe, or I think, if they were to avoid the situation that they're finding themselves in, they really should have addressed the issue of why there was a Biafran war. There was a Biafran war, rather, in the first place. As it is, they are taking the Paul Biya approach of assuming everything is fine because we're in Lagos, while everything is not fine. People continue to die. You continue to apply the colonial methodology of handling protests, and that is arresting people arbitrarily, disappearing people arbitrarily. For a very long time, we don't know where Nnamdi Kanu is. That should not happen in this day and age. For a very long time, I don't know how many Biafrans have disappeared, how many have run from their homes, fearing persecution or fearing death. And that is a very old, very archaic way of dealing with these protests. Most of these African governments could have benefited and could have avoided this crisis if they came forth and asked the people, what is it we can do for you? Where did we go wrong? How can we institute healing to begin in the Biafran region to start with? How can we make sure that we set up, even if it's a ministry, or talk to the Ministry of Devolution, because Nigeria was one of the countries that started the federal system in Africa, and yet you have people with no roads. It makes zero sense, and that is a very bad conviction on devolution in Africa. So as it is, I think the onus is on the Nigerian government, first of all, to understand why there was a Biafran war in the first place, understand why it still goes on, ask the people what they want, and as it is right now, if they asked the people 10 years ago, the needs will be different, because right now all they want is a referendum. All they want is a referendum, and if they get that referendum, they're going to get out of Nigeria. They're going to vote and ratify that they need to be separate from Nigeria. The thing that the federal government of Nigeria fears about this is because they'll lose most of their resources and they'll lose most of their manpower and that skilled labor. This is something they should have addressed, to prevent the anthills building a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like that. You said if probably the federal government of Nigeria will have asked the people of Biafra what they want 10 years ago, things would have been different. Maybe the needs would have been different, but as it is today, the only call, and it remains so, is a referendum and nothing short of it. Let me hear from Linda Alela what you have to say about it. How can we heal the divide in Nigeria, more so with the Biafra crisis?
All right. Thank you so much, Tawish. Of course, the rest of the panel and the viewer. I've just gone an extra mile to try and understand all this crisis. It's a bit of history in Nigeria. And the Biafra problem is more than meets the eye. And it has gone to a level whereby I would say, it's a point of no return. I was looking to some report, or maybe at some reports that were suggesting that maybe in the year 2023 or years to come, Nigeria is likely to split even more into not just having Biafra on this other end, but a couple of others, around six
states.
Yes, over 6 states. So that is to tell you there's a big problem in Nigeria, not just in Biafra land. Maybe the few people of Biafra have realized how capable they are. They are learned to a level whereby they know very well that they can govern themselves. They have tried in the federal system. They have traditional and local leaders where you find the Igwes, and they've realized how possible it is for them to be able to work out things as a people. They enjoy the numbers, the people of Biafra. You know very well that they have a huge population that can literally actually form and sustain a country for that matter. There's the question of resources, proper resources coming from the region of Biafra, talking about the Igbo, of course talking about the oil that of course the external hand has major interest on. So the
please let me know if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please let me know in the comment section. Let me know if my voice is back. It was network issues, of course, like as I said from beginning, we do not trust the network. So we do not trust the network. We have to continue. The problem now is that I don't know where we stopped, because I was busy showing you something from this side. I didn't see your comments as early as possible. Okay, fine. Let me start from here. I want to do something before telling you the names, or before giving you the names of those who wrote this junk. Let me tell you something. Please share the broadcast so that others who have left already will be able to come back, because we are about to expose the purveyors those who have concocted this very junk. We are about to expose them now. So, share please and let others know that we are back so that they can be able to come back and finish the program. Now, I want us to make a research first before showing you the names or before giving you the names of those who wrote this nonsense. Let us make a research first. We are going to copy the name. This is the name of these so-called Southeast professionals. They are Coalition of Southeast Professionals Network in Nigeria and Diaspora. This is their official name. The so-called professionals, right? So let us, copy it. We are going to do the practical together here. We will do the practical together. I don't know if you, I don't know if you got all these experiments before the network problem. I don't know, but let me just continue from here. Okay, now let us copy this name and then open a new tab. This is a new tab. Then paste the name of this so-called group, the criminal element, and then search. Now, let me tell you something that some people do not know. Let me tell you something that some people do not know. When you are making a research, about a particular, organization, once you put their name here and search, the first thing that is going to pop up here, the first thing you are going to see here is the domain. The website of the organization. The website of that organization that you are searching is the first thing which is going to pop up here. Or you see Wikipedia. I want you to pay attention, please. Or you see the Wikipedia or the domain, the website of the organization which you are searching, which you are looking for. That will be the first thing to see here. Before then, when you scroll down, you start seeing news of, news concerning the particular organization that you are searching or looking for. But for on this case, after doing the search, you see that there is nothing like domain, there is nothing like Wikipedia, there's nothing like that. The only thing you are seeing here is the same news that I have read. The same news that I just read. So you ask yourself, where is the website of the so-called Coalition of Southeast Professionals Network in Nigeria and Diaspora? What you see here is just the news, only the news. Look at it, only the news of this particular, effect. So now let us assume that the name is too long. So the network, it is not written like that on their website. Let's just assume. And then we're going to go back. Excuse me. Let's go back to the article and then copy the abbreviation. Let us assume that this full name is too long, so their domain, their website is not written with their full name. So let us assume that their website is written with their abbreviation. Let us copy the abbreviation and then go back to the new tab, cancel this one, and then paste the abbreviation that we just copied, and then search. You see, after searching with the abbreviation, the same thing happened. What you are seeing here is all about the news that we just read. That's all, nothing else. No website, no Wikipedia, no history, no information of the so-called Southeast Coalition of blah, blah, blah whatsoever. Nothing at all. No domain, they don't have base, no domain, no website, nothing to, you cannot say, let me go and, at least chat with these people, talk to these people, let me know more about them, let me see their, modus of operandi, let me see how they operate. There is nothing like that. So, in other words, it is now evidently clear. We have, laid a foundation, we have cemented the fact that this so-called Southeast Coalition does not exist. I want you to pay attention, please. We have now, laid a foundation, and it is now evidently clear that there is nothing, no group, no organization called Coalition of Southeast Professionals Network in Nigeria and Diaspora, which their abbreviation is CSEPNND. There is no group known as this. Now, you begin to ask questions. Then, who are these? Excuse me. You begin to ask questions. Because we have done, this is like, we are doing it live. Not that I have done it and then I come here to tell you, oh, okay, I made my research and I found out that there is no group called Southeast Coalition. That is not the issue here. If I have come here to tell you, I made my research and I found out that there is no group called Coalition of Southeast Professionals, Professional Network, you will say, Biafra Unite, did I do this research with you? How can you convince me that there is no group called Southeast Coalition of Southeast Professional Network? But we are doing it live on television. We are very, very lucky and opportune to come to this age of this technology. So everything is happening on the screen on a live broadcast. We have done the search with their full name and their abbreviation. So there is nothing like that. It does not exist. Now you begin to ask very pertinent question. Who are these Southeast Coalition of Professionals Network? My brothers and sisters, after all my cracking brain and asking questions and doing my own research, it has come. In fact, I listened with, I'm trying to find the word. I'm trying to find the grammar, the grammar that I'm going to use to qualify the situation, to compare with what happened. I watched in dismay. I was in a terrifying situation to listen and watch and learn that the people who concocted this junk that you see here, they wrote name here, they mentioned, where is that name they wrote? They said they are, the professionals conveyed their position in a statement signed on Wednesday by Prof. Chika Madumene, national president of a group that is non-existence. Then they say Mazuchi Ibokwe, national secretary, and Dr. Mrs. Chioma Madoka, coordinator, women wing. Imagine they have already had women wing when they are not existing. All these names you see here are fake. Fake. They do not exist. Do you know who they are? The engineer, the architect, the organizer, the president, yes, the so-called president, they say they have I think they have president general. Where is it? National president, yes. My brothers and sisters, this national president you see here is no other person than Ifeanyi Oba. I want you to pay attention. I will tell you who they are. The national president of the Coalition of Southeast Professionals Network, Nigeria, and in the diaspora is Ifeanyi Oba. Ifeanyi Oba. He is their president. Now, the deputy, followed by his gang of criminals. Ifajuna is there. He's the deputy, Ifajuna. Chike Dozieha is there, followed by China Sanwohu. Then do you know the person who wrote this? Is that criminal in Ghana? The person who wrote the thing, who wrote it by himself, is that criminal in Ghana. This one they told you, coordinator women wing. There is nothing like that. There is absolutely nothing like that. Do you know their national secretary? National secretary is that criminal in Ghana. Now him write this junk. What I have told you now is pure, live and direct, no propaganda. No propaganda. Now them concocted this rubbish. And the criminal in Ghana that we exposed, since we exposed him, his life has never remained the same, is the one who wrote this junk by himself. Why they are organizer, their boss is Ifeanyi Oba. You see, this is how they roll. This is how they roll. These are the evil people who have sworn never allow Biafra to come. These are the evil people that collaborated and colluded with the enemies from Fotajalon to sell Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, ofumpuru anya ndi Biafra jibu afọ ụzọ before. Chukwu wee sị mba, o nwere ilu ndị Igbo tụrụ sị ofu mkpụrụ anya. Hey, kezi otu esi wee tụ inu anwa chai. Ndị Fulani bịa ka Faro kpọọ mkpụrụ anya anwa Igbo ji afọ ụzọ. Chukwu okike abịa m wee sị no, it will not happen. Chukwu mee gịnị wee kenye anya ọzọ. Anyị nwe anya na-abụ na ife anyị nwere na-abụ anya ịbụa. And this second eye, Chukwu kenyere anyị, all the very, very far from the enemies to blind. The second anya Chukwu nyere anyị na, ịrụkpọ ya, n'ọdụ ka ịgazisi Chukwu n'onwe ya achọrọ m gị ka nrụkpọzie gị anya. Because if you need stubborn, anyị try ka arụkpọ anyị nyelu ndị a, inyefe anya ọzọ, ka anyị rụkpọzigo nwa n'onwe gị bụ Chukwu anya. That is how it stands that is how it is as it stands today. That is to show you how important this freedom is to God, not just to us. The freedom of the Biafran people is more important to God himself than the people of Biafra. I will explain. And after that, I will open the line for our people to call in and make their contribution. Or let me quickly open the line right about now while I explain that. The number is on your screen, +358 41 585 11 33. Let me call that again. +358 41 585 1133. That is the number. Is actually on your screen as you are watching right now. So you can copy the number and call us on WhatsApp. If you have a question, bring it on. If you want to debate us, bring it on. If you want to make a contribution towards this very latest development, you are highly welcome. And at the same time, I'm going to share the link once again. I will share the link in the comment section. So those of you who would want to join me live and direct in the studio would do so while we deliberate on this matter. The link is right now in the comment section, wherever you are watching from our 2 YouTube channels. The link is in the comment section. You can click the link and join me live and direct in this studio. Kaimewe live and direct. Now, let me tell you something. The freedom of the Biafran people and Biafrans at large, or should I say the Biafra land, is more important to Chukwu Okike Abiama than us fighting for the freedom. Caller on WhatsApp, your name and where you're joining us from. If you are calling us from outside of the zoo, you are welcome to the show.
Biafra unites. I greet you, my beloved brother.
You're welcome. Please be audible. Kindly be audible, please. You're welcome.
Okay, my brother. I am.
You're welcome. Go ahead, please.
Okay, my brother. My brother, you know, it is very, very laughable. It is very, very laughable that at this point in time, we still have the same people. In fact, they rejected the defeat. The more they do, the more they failed. Now, even when you are reading out the so-called broadcast, the newspaper publication, I was like laughing. I was like laughing before you started the exposition. Now, going by the zoo, you see how they are indeed a failed country. They will now be fast enough to publish that, to publish the rubbish that doesn't have an address, that doesn't have even if you say, okay, let's trust this news and know the outcome, or maybe you might need a further inquiries about the so-called Eastern rubbish they call themselves. There will be no address. But the one we are doing, the one our Prime Minister is doing, you see them debunking it. That was a question you asked earlier on when you were at the beginning of this program about extraordinary rendition. You know, most of us, it is true that we are not a lawyer, but now we know what is on ground. There are many people, 95% of the so-called people, the so-called educated people in the zoo that are not educated. That no wonder our leader call them educated illiterate. Now, have we heard that there are a thing that called extraordinary rendition? Yet they swept it. They keep dodging it, sweeping it under the carpet, knowing fully well the consequences. Know everything about it, but they turn a blind eye. Well, I won't blame them because they feel that what we are doing now is Nigerian things. Thank God for our Prime Minister, honestly. Thank God for our Prime Minister. The only man that God used to wipe our tears. Because they feel that when they kidnapped our leader Onyendu, everything dies off. Before the emergence of our Prime Minister. Now, the game has changed. And these foolish people, in fact, they don't know what is coming. They feel that it's as usual.
Thank you, my brother.
It's a game, or it's as usual.
Thank you, my brother.
So we have already warned them, my brother.
Thank you.
All the jamboree they are not beating around the bush. If they can't be dying us.
Thank you, my brother.
My fellow Biafrans, we we must continue. We are already there. We are just counting down.
God bless you. I appreciate you. God bless you. Please, once you call, make sure you use only but 2 minutes. 2 minutes is only thing that I'm giving because we need to allow others to also make their own contribution. Now, the link to the studio is in the comments, in the chat section. If you are watching, click the link. You want to join me live in the studio, you can click the link and join me live in the studio, or call the number on your screen so that you can make your contribution, because I want this very broadcast from now moving forward to be an interactive section. Now, I made a comment that the freedom of Biafra land and Biafra people is more important to God himself, Chukwu Okike Abiama himself, than the Biafran people. A lot of people are wondering, what is he saying? Organic Oneku. People are wondering, Organic Oneku. Now, let me tell you the reason why the freedom of Biafra and Biafran people is more important to Chukwu Okike Abiama than us. The sole reason why the freedom of Biafra people is more important to Chukwu Okike Abiama than anyone na-azọ bụ nwere onwe is because, first, we are the children of Chukwu Okike Abiama. We are the children of God. Umu Chukwu. That is who we are. And we cannot be able to worship our God in a strange land. Listen, I'm explaining it to you. I'm giving you a proper explanation of what I said. We cannot be able to worship our God, Chukwu Okike Abiama, in the manner that we are supposed to in a strange land. It is not possible. It can't happen. So, and God himself is aware that it is not possible for my people to worship me. Is a shame, is a great shame, is a dishonor to God Almighty, to Chukwu Okike Abiama, to allow his own people to worship him, to serve him in a strange, not just in a strange land, but in bondage, to worship him while they are in captive or in captivity. Is a shame. It's a big shame. Like you have a son now, and you want your son to serve, to receive. You want to give your son, you want to show your son that father love. You want to give your son what we called father love. And instead of your son to be close to you, to get that, to receive that training from you, to receive that father love from you, your son is serving, is somewhere doing boy for somebody. And not that you are not capable of taking care of your son. You are very capable. I have people in the studio, but I'm waiting for more numbers to join me in the studio. So therefore, let me pick this call first. Caller on WhatsApp, please. You're welcome. You're welcome. Tell us where you're joining us from. Please go ahead.
I'm calling from Morocco.
Oh, from Morocco, all the way from North Africa. You are welcome to the program. Please go ahead.
Yeah, that channel, you are doing so great job here.
Go ahead, please.
So my brother, based on they on board, all we are saying, give us Nandikan, let them give us Nandikan. All we are saying, let them give us Biafra. Because I tagafa namma my brother. I tagafa Biafra ndine genti. I tagafa namma. Ananda dinukuta plan within this year na Morocco I no ne. If again na I dinukuta plan. I got bambo guys in Nigeria pona ya won this year. This year na obodai ya na epu. Yene na akpo isi ya na manaji ya na because Morocco na di ya man di Boko Haram actual na baha Morocco efo. onye Morocco na-agwa m obodo ha tigasị wee bịa ma ihe ma Syria ma ihe na ajụ wee bịa kọnka ndị Sahara na ha nọ Sahara ndị Afrịka efere na I need the guy pull out of Nigeria ndị ajụ nnukwu plan ndị ajụ na ịma sometimes mụ na ha na-ekwu thank God I'm not some Arab if we get to na I work there
okay
ma onwe some things a na-eme na-ekwu otu a onwe ka anyị ekwurute eleta ha na ma ahụhụ onye obodo a efere na ọkpọ nwanne onwe ka ọkpọ nwanne nwoke okwu si ya mechie ọnụ to ihe na-eme na yotago na si ya mechie ọnụ oyi na ka ya akọl m a stranger ifuge na reason adị m akpọ isi a anaghị ogidego ha mkpọ isi a na si ya mba asị ha m na eti mma na akpịrị na ma akpọ isi a nsị ha mba na ma dị akpọ isi a so ụmụnne m and ya na ihe ebe a na-akọmpezi ya na-asị ya na iwu ndị Israel na iwu ndị Yahudi Yahudi wụ ndị ajọ mmadụ ndị na-egbu mmadụ but they are the one who is killing people agbuchezi ndị mmadụ ha atọ na against you a Christian gwasị na unu wee Yahudi efuge so ụmụnne m ndị na-ege ntị apụkwana ihe ndị politician anyị na-eme ka anyị si na Nigeria pụọ ebuga anyị enough and more killing still coming I cannot delay
thank you my brother
many things is still coming. I'm Morocco, I'm over 40 years now, I can't know about that. 14 good years, I can't go Morocco. I'm a sort of some Arab, I'm a Banasuba, I'm a Nusiake. If you get
thank you, my brother.
Nigeria over the Isian.
Thank you, my brother. Oh, no one no Morocco, and I support to qualify name, and I support to qualify financially. And I contribute to part to the government.
Yeah, we are trying.
Thank you, my brother.
Our Prime Minister of Africa, we supported him. We enjoy it.
Thank you, my brother. God bless you. God bless you. All right, we move. So, I was saying something. I think I have to welcome someone from the studio to make a comment before I continue with my illustrations. All right. If you are joining the studio, please make sure you join with your microphone. It is very, very important. If your microphone is not on, then you cannot be able to speak. All right. Mazi Onyekachuku, please grab the microphone and speak to us quickly, please. Everybody, 2 minutes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Biafra Unite, the Ikuku one. Thank you so much for a good job. Your analysis is really penetrating. Thank you, Biafrans. Thank you, friends of Biafrans. Thank you, my able Prime Minister, the cabinet, and all the media officials. There's more grace to elbows. You see, these people, they think that they are stuck in thread of yesteryears. Can still work in this our time. You know, formally, this is what is known DSS, to fabricate something and never existing something, faceless group, and publish it. You know, that is a stock in trade of DSS. But what you just mentioned now, the people I know, and the comment that said, I mentioned in my powerless, sorry. In my powerless. So there are the people, you are right, 100% right. There are the people, you know, they are doing everything possible. The useless, if I want to be make a governor of Anambra State, and all these mongoose mentioned, they are trying to do the work of money they paid. You know, they pay them hugely, which former AGF, the criminal Malami, said it. So these are what they're doing. But, you know, they are fighting a lost battle, you know. We can never in this our time allow them to succeed. We are ahead of them. And I'm urging all Biafrans, please, you know, a quitter does not win and a winner does not quit. Greater the risk, greater the profit. Closer the victory, tougher the battle. We must increase everything we are doing. Support our government. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. God bless you for that submission. All right. We move to the next person. Ogochukwu Okafor. This name with Simon Ekpa, your microphone is not connected, so you need to leave and come back again with your microphone turned on. Thank you. Ogochukwu Okafor, please grab the microphone and talk to us.
Ndewo Maazị Ọdịnanwa.
Ndewo, you're welcome.
Okay, nwanne m. Biko, m ga-use 2 minutes a wee kwuo ihe m chọrọ ikwu. Yesterday m gbara mbọ mana okwere m eme ka m bata nwụọ. Ofu mkpụrụ okwu m chọrọ ikwu maka Peter Obi, biko allow me. Na Peter Obi n'onwe ya enwere mgbe ọ ga-abịa kịta abịa sị anyị na ọ na-ayọ ka Maazị Nnamdi Kanu pụta. Because nke mbụ bụ na Peter Obi chọrọ ịchị Nigeria. Maazị Nnamdi Kanu chọrọ ikewa Nigeria, so ọ dịghọ possible. So ihe ọ na-eme bụ propaganda. And otu a ka ọ dị ha ncha ma ọha onye ọbụla na-asị na ọ na-eje kịta ayọ maka Maazị Nnamdi Kanu pụta, ha ncha bụ criminals, onwe nke do possible. Because na Maazị Nnamdi Kanu chọrọ ikewa Nigeria, and ha ncha niile nwere interest n'ịchị Nigeria. Ọkwa doro onye ọbụla anya, so ihe ha na-eme bụ na ofu eziokwu anọghị ha n'ọnụ. Nke mbụ de na-abịa na kịta nke Ifeanyị Ụba na ndị otu ya. Anyị ma ama mgbe ị na-ajụ ajụjụ mgbe ị na-ekwu maka ya ka anyị nọ ebe a na-ataịpụ na-akpọcha afa differently. We get their names already. We know that they are the ones who are fighting this battle. They want to be in one Nigeria. Ifeanyị Ụba want to overtake Kedafa Ebo Soludo. Adadiora mmemego exposition ahụ. Ifeanyị Ụba na onwe ya anyị ma ama na alụ niile na-eme n'ala Igbo ya na nwanne nwoke bụ Kedafa Ebo kedu nke Uruagụ Ikenga kesị na afọ ya bụ Ikenga emeri expose nya from Kedafa ya bụ Remigius. Alụ niile ọ na-eme ebe ahụ ogo egbe na-eke ndị mmadụ ka ha na-agbagbusi ndị mmadụ. So anyị macha na ọha na-eme ihe ndị ahụ. So nwanne m exposition gị bụ superb, ada agbagha ya agbagha nna. So jisie ike ka anyị na-eje na anyị na-eru ebe anyị na-eje and ha ga-akwụ ụgwọ njọ ha. O nwere ihe kwutere ya. Ndewo my brother.
Definitely. Thank you. God bless you. Fire Jofa. Thank you. God bless you. All right, caller on WhatsApp, please tell us where you are joining us from. Bapi also, my brother.
Hello, Biafra United. Good evening. One of Biafra.
You're welcome. Can you be audible, please? Can you be audible so that Biafrans can hear you?
Okay. I am John.
You're welcome.
Yes, Bajama Wenapa. I couldn't have a dragon number one and all in our lie. What a good Chineke Yaku, one or two to Pogo, Macano de easy. Yotago. Here on the Madigis one Ebezo can now begin. Chineke Yaku, Apuno, Yotago. Agapo, one and don't take it. Why, good old why no more moon. Yotago. So, thank you. So Biafra United, and we feel him to one day Biafra now. And the zoo, especially in the zoo. Biafra United, him to one no more what to do, but now if we sit at the home and no I in and we something in the madu position and dance it at the home mota man and the zoo. Okay, for Obodaha, I'm very sorry. One this is it at home and one day and may go so one in that na power belong to people.
Of course.
Number one. This has sit at home where go see go on and do to that they cannot buy all Igbos with money. One and I whatever naga. Because na handi anines and agi with the hane defend Igbo. One day this is that to whom may go na this kidnapping of Mazen Amdekan is a very big mistake. You're not working alive and direct. Then never, and when you believe in the act that the thing can we so to us. Then the Biafra United, they want another news again now. One day, I am choosing there also politicians and Abazi also now. And when you zoom again, they got very surprised. And the give this news, it will store my number now. You got me inquiry, my news now or authentic corner say. You will because of next one. One day, Imana Mamachimaru can the man, the former governor of Enugu State, who need woman in America, made to bury in America. Did you aware?
You mean Nifa?
Asking a store this number. What I go is store here.
Like seriously.
Me inquiry here am now. We are broadcast. All the very, very important. Mami amolo. When you in America, me bury in America. Go and ask anybody.
You mean Nifa?
No, yes, your full good. Mwa bonya ban.
Chineke me okwaru. Ai.
Ezigbo arụ ka m na-agwa gị, ezigbo arụ.
Like seriously.
Ọkwa ifuru zoo gụrụ agụ. Ndị Arabia ha eburu nkanka n'izu na-aga South East insecurity. Nna nwanne m o, ifu bury ya Mr. Ibu eme last week last week, yes. Where men gathered, Biafra United no Pakam there.
No.
So Yeni na ifu name na South East, Ebundi DOS na Nigeria government in medicine. I'm telling you honestly. Magadigia. But on a bomezi hame yourself or dapapala anyone like we only see time on Ekpa. So Nanchikoto Kumbiko Biafra United you also because I got very careful Bomaka ebe PM no. Unuwa na bien so biko nyamaloto se aganchem. Nyamaloto sa ganchem. Okpa agbakwana na eriza o. Yem na agwa gị na beziokwu o. Ịmaghị onye mbụ nwanne. So bet were okwu am na go na okpa agbakwana na eriza. So biko nyamụla anya ka azụ.
Thank you, my brother.
Maazi akụdị na nwa ihe ọbụla mmadụ na-eme n'ụwa akwụba aka gị ọtọ in the time of trouble. Chineke agaghị agbakọta gị azụ. Chineke agbakọta Nnamdi Kanu azụ na mkpu niile o tiri. I swear. We started this agitation since a kidnapping Nnamdi Kanu ebidoro ịzọ Biafra real.
Exactly.
You know Nnamdi Kanu around Ndoshi throughout from A to Z, even the wife, sorry to say.
There is no story there. Thank you, my brother.
So we don't drag one. Thank you very much.
We don't drag you too. Thank you for that wonderful submission and of course information at the same time. We move. The number is there on your screen, +3 58 41 585 1133. Call us and of course make your own contribution towards this very latest development. Ifanyoba and Co. Ifanyoba and Co. have gathered themselves and wrote a junk against the Biafra liberation and the Biafra Prime Minister. They thought we would not know. All right, Airborne, please grab the microphone and talk to us. The link is still in the comment section. If you want to make comment, click the link and join us live in the studio and of course make your contribution. Airborne, please go ahead.
All right, thank you very much, my brother. Am I coming out?
Loud and clear, please go ahead.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening from my location, Biafra, all over the world. My name is Ekpa. I'm an Isoto speaking Biafra. Biafra Unite, thank you very much for the great work you are doing. We cannot appreciate you enough from Isoto Biafra land, Biafra land. I bring special greetings to all of you who are fighting so hard for us to be free. Before I proceed, I want to say a very big thank you to our great leader, Nnamdi Kanu, who was kidnapped from Kenya by the Nigerian government and extraordinarily renditions in Nigeria. Nigerian courts have freed him, yet because Nigeria do not obey court order, they do not even obey their court order, they do not obey rule of law, they refuse to release our leader and they keep him up to date in DSS dungeon, not even in prison, where they torture him day and night. Special greetings to my leader, Nnamdi Kanu, as well as our Prime Minister, whose Prime Minister, His Excellency, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa for the Biafra people, for the great work he has done for us. And I want to thank these three people, the Prime Minister, Biafra Unite, as well as Mazi Sonia Parawa, because if everybody had, like most of them that we started together when they kidnapped our leader, if some of you betrayed, today we will not be where we are. We are very close to our leader, to our freedom today, and it's very clear and obvious to everybody here that we are close to our freedom. So thank you very much, my brother. You know,
Thank you, God.
coming to the topic. Yes, sir. So coming to the topic, you know, one thing about Nigeria is that as they carry out their criminality partially, the world is seeing them totally. So the world has no Nigeria for who they are. You understand? That is why you can see a more powerful, a more powerless in Ghana, a faceless individual will come up with a write-up. That is the news that the Nigeria Gota media will publicize. Not a Simon Ekpa who is open, you can see his face, he has an address, he has his website, you can see everything about him. They refuse to publicize such things. So, as a matter of fact, the world has known Nigeria for who they are. You understand? They know Nigeria for their criminality, for their dubious character and terrorism. You understand? The world have known them for who they are. So the truth is that, like the chief of defense staff was saying, that we are in a democracy. And I want to use this opportunity to tell him that, sir, Nigeria does not have any democracy. Because democracy that we understand is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. That means ownership. It means that the people own the government. They are the ones that make up the government, not a government that is owned by Britain, ruling in proxy using the Fulani and the criminal political stooges to make life miserable for the indigenous people that are found on this space called Nigeria, on this contraction where many nations are brought together. You understand? That is not a government. You understand? This is why you can see that nothing can work in Nigeria, because Nigeria is not, the government of Nigeria is not owned by the indigenous people. It's owned by strangers, foreigners, who are only after their interest, not the interest of the indigenous people that are in this place. You understand? So as a matter of fact, our people, you need to wake up. People from Isoko and Urobo. Well, in fact, Janmare Nigeria no Gagano, as a matter of fact. Our only ticket to freedom, the ticket of Ulmawo Kerema Ronunye, Onye Biafra, Wajo Wafio, Brego Yamuzo, Uke rights and Nigeria.
Probably not going to allow this. He said,
so somebody was saying something. I can hear you, but it's like I can hear you, sir. I can hear you.
Okay, please go ahead.
Can you hear me? Fine. So I was speaking to my people. Life is very hard in Nigeria. There's no hope in Nigeria. Rore or Nigeria, Udede or Nigeria, Zwazo or Nigeria, Ufoma or Nigeria na. Area Magiso Ufoma. Area Tebe Fumano. Woti Yomona, Omono Tutbovo, or Ronya Ha, Oti Biza or Ronya, Oti Biso, Oti Bebe, Otu Bude, Ututi Bogba, Ude Biso, Yomono Ronya, and I have one or a lack of a negere, or a knock one more form of that. What am I one of your boss of Marata, Wobobi, Wisoko Bobby, Bowo, Urobo Bobby, your few boss a Biafra, my vote to rock a Biafra. You voting in, we go on over Vomona. Vosera vaira vonira vosera kere wa vote roke biasa abon ma won ve Nigeria ene mati won abo brigo ya we do u kera se bona ve Nigeria who keep this brigo ya we ve Nigeria. My people, wake up. We have suffered too much in this country, and I want to say thank you very much to our brothers from the southeast as they divided us southeast and south. You understand? They think that they can divide us. They took away the history, but they forgot to take away our culture. So by the culture, by the kind of life we live, if I see my brother go no, you understand? So if the person that eat the same kind of food with me, if mama dressed like me, our traditional way of worship the same thing, our religion the same thing, you are telling me that person is not my brother. Now lack of benefit. Now that one can't be my brother. Or punish devil. You understand? My brother, thank you very much for the great work you are doing. God bless you. My name is Ebon. I'm an Isoko speaking Biafra. And this freedom, man, we must get her. No matter how it be, you hear me? So this freedom, we will get her. All the enemy will come our land, now there they go fight put, you understand that kind of thing. As they come kill us, now there, if I the rest of life, you don't open for them, for Biafra land, you understand that kind of thing. Thank you very much, my brother. Fire down. God
Thank
bless
you, my
you all.
brother. God bless you. God bless you for that wonderful submission. All right. We are coming to the end of this very show, of this very live broadcast today. If you are at the backstage and I did not bring you up to speak, I am very, very sorry. My plan was to be here for 2 hours, but we are now 2 hours, 34 minutes. So please, I am very, very sorry. I will take no more calls. Ofia deba kenwa Maria. Ofia deba kenwa Maria. Today, it is now in the open that some group of criminal elements, some unscrupulous elements from the place they call Southeast Nigeria have gathered once again. The vultures have gathered again using some criminals in IPO in the defunct DOS to write rubbish on the pages of newspaper of the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria, claiming to be Southeast Professionals Nigeria Limited, calling for the repatriation of the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa, knowing fully well that he is a Prime Minister of a government in exile. His Excellency, Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, knowing the repercussion, knowing the impossibility of such, they even went as far as calling him a fugitive, showing their stupidity and madness in the public. Then, that insult is over. Today we know the people who are causing nuisance on media within the Zoological Republic. It is now in the open. The likes of Ifeanyi Oba and his criminal gang have been exposed today. So whenever you see a name like this, I'm sure after this, they will no longer come with this name again. They will come, but they will not use this name again. Their game is up. As far as this name is concerned, Coalition of Southeast Professionals Network in Nigeria and Diaspora is banned, completely banned. They will never come with this name again because they have been exposed. The faces, the criminals behind this junk has been exposed today. So them coming again with this same name will be a joke to their persons or to their personalities if they have one. So, my brothers and sisters, whenever you see a name like this, you already know who they are. Call them by their real names. They are the gang of, they are a particular gang of criminals led by Ifeanyi Oba. Call them by their names. Once you see any write-up like this anywhere, call them by their names because they have been exposed. That is what we have achieved today. Call them by their names. I have mentioned their names for you. And on that note, we have come to the end of this very broadcast. Thank you, my people. God bless you. All of you supporting this very movement financially, I say, may God Almighty Chukwu Okike Abiama bi n'eluigwe bless you richly and replenish you. Replenish you. Ebobini sine wepute gija support to the your own freedom. I pray that God replenish you. N'afa Chukwu Okike Abiama bi n'eluigwe. As I commit the life of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu into the hands of God, I pray for strength. I pray for strength. I pray for strength, 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 divine healing, divine healing, divine healing upon him, upon the life of Mazinam Dekano, upon Mazinam Dekano. More strength, more strength, more strength, energy, more strength and energy upon him. We want him to be able to stand his ground. We stand and defeat the agony, tribulation, suffering, humiliation from the enemies against his life and his person. The threat of life against his life. We pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama bi n'eluigwe will shower him upon strength, will bless him more with long life and strength, energy, that at the end of the day, he will come out victorious. And I pray for security upon the life of His Excellency Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko Otrizu Mmanwu I of Biafra. I pray that Chukwu Okike Abiama bi n'eluigwe, Elohim, Okaka, Ancient of the Days, I am that I am, the beginning and the end, omnipotent and omniscience, Jehovah Nisi, bless him with more wisdom and protection. These are two things I'm begging you, I'm asking you for the life of Mazi Simon Ekpa. Number one is protection, security, and number two is more wisdom upon the one you have already endowed him with, that he may be able to pilot the affairs of the freedom of your people, as we have known that the freedom of Biafra is more important to you than us, because you will be pleased when your children worship you in the land that you promised their ancestors. You will be more pleased to lead them to their freedom, to their free land, where they can dance and worship you in truth and in every honesty, without fear of invaders. I'm sure that you will be more pleased. Please protect our Prime Minister and give him more wisdom. Protect him from all the enemies, both enemies within and enemies without. And at the end of the day, he will victoriously land in the land of Biafra with celebration. Likewise, do I commit the lives of all the cabinet members of the Biafra Republic government in exile, BLGIE, and every genuine person, every person fighting in one way or the other for the liberation of Biafra, genuinely from his heart, without taking bribe. May you continue to protect them, guide them, lead them in all their ways, and bless them richly, both financially and otherwise. Bless all Biafrans who genuinely want this freedom and genuinely supporting the liberation of Biafra financially and otherwise, that at the end of the day, we all will be together in Biafra land, sing your praises, praise and dance to you, Chukwu Okike Abiama, and glorify your holy name. Give our testimonies to the whole world, how you liberated us from the hands of the enemies. May God bless you. Bless you from me, from here, with all the love in my heart. My fellow Biafrans, I say good evening.